Welcome to fourth grade health. This is for lesson 148, and we are on pages 51 to 53. So we are going to be looking at the tooth. A winning smile is chapter 4 as the start of it. Okay, just to I hope you did well on your test that was over the first few chapters, and that you are ready to jump into a new chapter. And so we are going to be looking at the tooth and the structure of the tooth and the different parts of it. And we're going to be, you also have an anatomy worksheet 4 to do. And so we're going to be looking at that. And we will do, we'll be reading pages, you will be reading pages 51 to 53, and then answering the quick check on 53 on paper. Okay, so there's several of those. So one has 4 different ones, and so there's 10 questions total. But you can label them 1A, 1B, or just 1A and then do A, B, C, D, E. I mean, not E, just to D. Okay, and then go on to 2. That's fine. So that's what we're going to be looking at, and different types of teeth. And so we will get going on that. All right. So if you are looking in a mirror, you will see that your teeth are something that people are going to notice right away, right? It's something that you may get preoccupied with if you're talking to someone and they have something in their teeth. It's a little distracting. So, but it's not just because of your looks that we want to take care of our teeth, but we want to take care of our teeth because they're also part of good health and good hygiene. And so, because we need the nutrition that our body takes in is primarily through our mouth, right? There are a few other types of nutrition that you can have that are not going to go in through your mouth, but the most important stuff that you will take in that's nutrition is going in through your mouth. So it's essential for your good health in order that your teeth stay healthy. And so, well, one of the things it talks about is your speech. So if you may remember when you were missing your front 2 teeth, and it was hard to say some words, right? Words that have S's, Z's, F, TH, and J are very difficult to say because we need our teeth to say them. And even in saying the word teeth, my tongue goes in between my teeth when I say that, and it makes that sound. The th sound can only be made when your tongue touches your teeth, okay? And so you can play around with that. But that's something that if we didn't have it, then if we don't have good teeth, if we don't keep our teeth the way they're supposed to, you might start talking a little funny. And I'm sure that Aiden's parents would say that having healthy mouth and gums and teeth is very important to your health. So there is saliva that is in your mouth. It's a digestive juice in your mouth, and it mixes with food. If it's chewed well, it'll mix easily. And so that helps start the digestive process and breaking down the food so that your body can absorb the nutrients from the food that you eat. And it also will make it a little bit easier to swallow. You've probably noticed sometimes if you're chewing like a piece of meat and it doesn't have a whole lot of juice to it, you might need to swallow a couple times with it in your mouth so that the saliva will start coming in to help you swallow it. Or you might need to take a drink if it was something super dry. And sometimes that happens, but pardon me, we're going to look at the structure of a tooth, okay? So we're going to take a look over up here. So the crown is the part of the tooth that sticks out of the gum, okay? And so that's that top part. So it's the part that you could touch is the crown. And then on the outside of your tooth, that's on the outside of the part that's out of your gum, is enamel. And this is the hardest substance in your entire body. It protects your teeth, okay? But that enamel can break down because of sugars. And so I have a friend who is a dental hygienist. And so she was telling me that one of the things that you can do to really help your teeth, and it does talk about this as well, is that every time you eat something, brush your teeth. And that's kind of, that can get a little bit, it sounds like a little bit much, okay? But if you are eating at every meal and you take 2, 3, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, it is all that it really takes. And you go and you brush your teeth after you've eaten a meal. And now with you guys at home, it might be a little easier because you can delay starting the next video or the next subject for a few minutes so you can go brush your teeth. But if you brush your teeth after you eat breakfast, and then she actually said that you really do need to brush it in the very first thing you get up, is you need to brush your teeth, because your mouth, that's the most time that it has stayed, that you haven't really done anything with it all day. Because if you think, you usually eat, when you're awake, you usually eat every 3 to 4, maybe 5 hours. When you go to sleep, you sleep for 8 to 9, maybe 10 hours. So it depends on how long you sleep. You might only sleep 7 hours, but you're still, that's a lot of time for your mouth to be idle, to not be doing anything, not eating, not really doing anything. And so first thing, she said the best is to brush your teeth 4 to 5 times. That would be the very best, okay? So if you could get it in at least 3 times, you would be still doing better than most people. So if you brush them when you first get up, and then of course you've gotten dressed, you get going for the day, you get some breakfast, and then you brush your teeth again. And then you go and you get your school done, and you go and eat lunch, and you brush your teeth again. And then you go back to schoolwork, or if you're done, you go to playing or whatever you get to do at that point, and then you eat dinner. And then you should brush your teeth again. And then you may have a couple hours between dinner and before you go to bed. And so then right before bed, you've had that time, and you should brush your teeth before you go to bed, because you're going to have another 8 to 9 hours of your mouth not doing anything. And that may feel a little weird at first, but if you have this habit and you get into this habit, and I mean, some might already have this habit. Aiden, I don't know exactly what your parents' habits are for you guys, but you might have the best habit out of all of us. But if you get into the right habit and you keep that habit, when you get older, it won't be hard to keep up with it, and your teeth will be healthy, and you will be able to not have as many problems as you might have if you didn't do some of these things. And so that was one thing that she told me that really just kind of helped me see the reasoning behind brushing your teeth right when you get up, and making sure, because the more stuff you eat, the longer it sits on your teeth, the more it's going to cause it to break down, and it causes that plaque, that film, to sit on your teeth. The longer that sits on your teeth, the more it's breaking it down, And that's when your teeth may start getting sensitive. It's because your teeth, the nerves, the pulp, which is the nerves and blood vessels, are starting to get exposed, which means that you know what when you touch something hot with your hand, it's your hand tells you, the nerves in your hand send a message to your brain that says, ouch, that's hot, or oh, brr, that's cold. Okay, so hot or cold. Your teeth can do the same thing. They can have a sensitivity to hot and cold. So when you drink something really cold, you may have a tooth that it really hurts, really is, it just irritates it. Or if you drink something hot and it does the same thing. And that's what happens when the enamel and then the dentin break down. So the dentin is actually what forms the shape of your tooth. And it holds that. It is a hard substance, but again, these substances can be broken down if you're not taking care of your teeth. And so then the pulp is the nerves and the blood vessels, and they come in through the bottom of the tooth. And of course, there's nerves and blood vessels in the gums that go all the way around. The root, so the two main parts are the crown and the root. Crown is above the gums and the root is in the gums. The gum is also called gingiva. And gingiva is where, if you've heard of gingivitis, that's an infection in your gums. And so that's where it gets inflamed and it's not good. And then the periodontal membrane is what is between the jaw, which is what this bone is, your jaw and the tooth, and it helps fix it to it. The cementum is a thin layer that goes right against the periodontal membrane and just holds everything, holds the tooth right there. Your jawbone is there, of course, and then the blood supply runs underneath that. And so this is, you know, you may have wondered, and someone may have explained it to you, but you may have wondered why your gums bleed if you lose a tooth. And it's because there's blood vessels that go to the tooth, because it keeps it healthy and alive to have those blood vessels there. And so another thing that, so that sugar that you may eat gets changed into acid. And so that acid is what really eats away at it. A dental caries is another name for cavities. So it's commonly known as cavities, but a dental caries are what happens when your enamel is broken down after many attacks on it. And of course, there's different forms of sugar that you can eat, and you can read about that. There is a little experiment that you can do, that you can put an egg into a clear glass and cover it with vinegar or a mild acid. There's a few different options for that. And in about 6 hours, you will see something happen to the eggshell. And so then you can do that. And if I'm able to do that, I might show you in the next video the results of that. But this is, I want you to go ahead and read these pages of 51 to 53, do the quick check, and don't forget to do your anatomy worksheet 4. I know that there was a mix-up. I didn't have it in the packets to begin with, so I think I sent it home to one parent, and I may be emailing it to another, and the other one's picking it up. So hopefully you have it by now. If not, then you may have to save that worksheet for tomorrow. There is a quiz that will be on Monday. It's with lesson 50. I'm sorry, quiz 6 is on Monday, and so we will go over what that will cover when we get there. I believe it covers to page 57. So, but if you have read this well and you understand all these terms, that would be good for that quiz. So, all right. And this is probably your last class for the day, so we will see you tomorrow.